Yo, what is going on, part-timers? Zach here. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing kind of my thought process through S2-11. So you guys can see that I've already 3-starred it, but the main reason I wanted to showcase this one was because I did a couple different things with my team builds and used a couple units that normally I don't think I would have used, but I wanted to branch out with Adriana and Flint. Two units I think are pretty interesting. I did use a support unit. I've been using Bagpipe. So the reason I've been using her is because the DP recovery, as well as having DP recovery from her, I just feel like it helps out quite a bit at the very beginning. I do think maybe I'm going overkill at the Vanguards. I could probably drop my other one, but I'll kind of explain my thought process of why I have him here as we go. So let's go ahead and place all the units. So normally I place out the DP units, and the reason that Bagpipe's pretty cool though is she's able to do just enough damage to where, like, as this guy's walking through, it doesn't matter too much because like two of them walk through, but she's able to kind of stop the other one before he keeps going. And then normally I put out her first here, and then this is where I would put out another Vanguard. Now I guess I could probably put out a defense unit, but I think it will end up costing me like a little bit too much. So then I put out my healer, and then I go ahead and use my skills. And this is a good little system for now. And what I'm trying to do here is get Adriana out. Now, the reason I want to get her out is because her sniper ability allows me to kind of like chip damage this dude right here. And these guys are so freaking annoying. It's nuts. So before I was using her, I was mainly just having them walk up. And unfortunately, it was just not a good time is all I could really say. So this is kind of where I get stuck though, because I don't really know how to use this healer efficiently. Really, I'm just going to kind of use her for this. Actually, I might move her one over. We'll see that the problem with moving her over too much is like she ends up getting kind of in this caster's way, and if too many units are next to each other, when this caster attacks, it just does damage to everybody, which you can already see kind of happening over here. I don't know why I'm explaining it like you guys don't know, but that's what ends up happening because he ends up dying, and then I just put this guy back out for a defense here now that I have some of the DP recovered. So that's initially my plan here, is just to try to do as much chip damage as I can to these dudes, just because they're super annoying. And normally if I let him like climb up too far, it would get to a point where he ends up killing everybody because everybody's like clumped together. And I guess I could put him over here, but what kind of ends up happening is, like, if I put a caster here, for example, like, I don't know, it almost seems kind of redundant because I think she's going to end up getting smacked by herself, and then she ends up dying. So I kind of just did that for like the sake of explaining, which I guess is kind of not what I should have done, but I think I'm pretty confident that we can still pass this. But normally I'd put her right here, and then she'd just kind of hang out there. And maybe if she comes back, I'll just put her out. So the problem though is if you stack too many of them, everybody starts dying because they're all in a cluster. So this is like kind of the problem I've been kind of dealing with a little bit. So then I end up having to kind of play a weird little game over here where I'm kind of smacking everybody around, like putting them in different positions, and then I just kind of start retreating people. And that's kind of like what happens over here. So it kind of gets into this weird conjugal mess where I think I can definitely improve towards the end over here, obviously, because I think that there's a lot of stuff that I could be doing differently towards the end over here, but this is kind of what I've been doing, and then I end up being able to do it. So like I said, a little messy at the end here. I think I have the right idea at the beginning. I just think that I need a little bit more defense or some sort of like different method for dealing with like the AoE that the caster can do over here, but I really don't know what else to do besides chip damage with Adriana. It just seems to be the only way to kind of pass it. But that is kind of the thought process, and I wanted to kind of take you guys through the ride of it and give my analytical perspective, obviously, of like why I did the things that I did. But if you guys have any tips or anything, I'm totally open to feedback. This is just like the best thing that I can come up with without looking up any videos or any kind of help like that. I'm really trying to go through a lot of these stages blindly as much as I possibly can, unless I'm hitting a roadblock where I'm like, I need to kind of progress. So I kind of look something up. But so far, I've been able to kind of do a lot of it by myself and just kind of mess around with a couple of different things. So obviously not totally optimized, but just something I thought would be fun. I could probably use something besides Adriana, maybe a different sniper like Platinum, but you know, whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it there. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.